Welcome back. Let's take a medical turn right now, and I can certainly speak from the perspective of the pain-suffering community out there. It's time to get real about the things in life that matter, and our health is front and center. Never let anything hold you back from the life that you deserve, especially not aches and pain. I'm self-preaching as much as I'm preaching to you. Now, here to discuss chronic pain management is Executive Head of the Department of Anesthesiology and Critical Care at Stellenbosch University, Professor Sean Chetty. Kind of said that like I'd just taken a dose of morphine. This is a loaded area for me. If I think I've got baggage, I'm sure you've got decades of baggage in this space. Professor, thank you so much for joining us, because I did not realize how many people are affected by chronic pain. So maybe you can explain what chronic pain is, because there is a self-diagnosis involved in this often, and we might get that wrong.
Yeah, so we have this thing called the International Association for the Study of Pain that's actually given us this definition. And it says that pain is a sensory and emotional experience. So for me, that means it's very personal.
Yeah.
So how you experience pain, Graham, is going to be completely different to how I'm going to experience it. So that's the academic definition. But, I like there's another definition which says that pain is what the patient says it is to them. And it's not just about the physical, it's about the quality of life. How does it affect your quality of life? And so you may be living with a pain score of 8 out of 10, fully functional. Someone else may be living with a pain of 2 out of 10, completely debilitated. It's very personal.
I've felt both sides of that scale. When I've lent on pain relief, my ability to process and deal with that pain and live functionally diminishes very, very quickly. So it's about finding a balance of empowering and strengthening the body, letting it heal. But like you say, knowing what works for you. And trust me, a 2 pain level might not feel like anything, but have a 2 for 3 years, then it's a different story. So I love that way of looking at it. So what are the most common threads here in your work? What's causing the pain? I would imagine the back is a big problem.
Okay, so there are many, many different types. So when we talk about chronic pain, usually chronic pain is pain that lasts longer than 3 months. It can be persistent, or it can come and go for that period. As soon as you get to that point, you should be thinking, something's not right here. In terms of conditions, you're right. Low back pain, probably the #1 condition in the world. In fact, every adult will experience at least 1 episode of low back pain during their lifetime. So if you have not experienced yours yet, be on the watch out for it.
Yeah. Sorry for that.
And if you have, hopefully you can avoid it becoming a chronic condition. Other conditions are things like chronic headaches, fibromyalgia, very common now. But the commonality is essentially it's the suffering. And so no matter where in your body it's going to be, it's about how is the patient experiencing this and how is it affecting their quality of life.
The fallout. I absolutely love that. And this is a beautiful lens to look at this issue through, because it is so complex and it's been so disparaging not to have this kind of messaging coming back at me. As tough as I think I am on those bad days, a little bit of relief at the right moment goes a long way. So how should we rely on pain relief measures? How do you approach that kind of working out a strategy?
Oh,
how long is a piece of string?
Thank you. Okay, so I think the first answer is going to be we need to try and avoid injuring ourselves. We need to try and avoid chronic pain.
Preemptive, yeah.
That's easier said than done, because often we only realize it after the damage has been done. But things that we can do in the active lifestyles we're living, make sure that you're actually protecting yourselves, making sure, try to avoid sprains, try to keep muscle tone going. But once this starts, we like to think about things as the biopsychosocial approach. Okay. So the biological is the injury to the tissue, the psychological is how we're thinking about this, and the social is essentially everything else around us, our environment, our work, etc. So if we try and manage our pain in those 3 areas, we'll do better. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of this. So the biological, we get medications, which your doctor or your healthcare provider may provide for you, but many people don't want to take medications all the time. And then you get other non-medication indications. So I think we really, in this day and age, we need to be moving towards a mix of therapies because you don't want to be taking medication all the time, right?
No, you can't. My pain medication is so strong, I can't take it all the time.
Exactly. So we need to look at your psychological outputs. So how do you manage how you're thinking about your pain? There are non-medication interventions, things like electrotherapy, things like heat packs, cold packs. Your healthcare provider can provide all of this information for you. And lastly, and probably most importantly, is you have to keep active. So someone with back pain, don't let it get you down and think, oh, it's easier for me to lie in bed.
There's a way. There's a way.
Actually walk around, get moving, strengthen those core muscles. That's how we're going to get better. That's how we're going to get South Africa moving again.
I mean, you speak to an epiphany I had on the table doing some real deep tissue stuff where you'll find spirituality in those moments. And the bottom line is you'll still be in pain regardless of how you react to it. So if you do it safely, you still can move, but I wouldn't be moving right now if I didn't have a baseline of fitness.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, I've lent on your industry a lot over the last 3 years, and to hear someone speaking in this way about it, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Prof. I think we are in good hands, and make sure that you do speak to someone. If you are in this pain management journey and chronic pain, if that pain just won't go away, you need to speak to someone. There is help out there.